All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this sinful kingdom called America. But before we hop into it, like always, we're going to give all praises to the Most High in the true Hebrew names and in the Hebrew tongue. So call,
Halayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amad.
All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Double honors to our elder as well. And shalom to you brothers and sisters pushing and keeping this truth and faith and sincerity into the end, man. All right.
All right, today we have a lesson for you, and we're gonna title it, Queendom, the definition of Whoredom. And the reason why we're naming the lesson that, because you have to understand this supposed to be quote unquote kingdom that we in America, basically a queen, because it's upside down. You know what I'm saying? Because look how everything is ran, man. You have the women running the household. You have children backwards in this kingdom. So with that being said, I'm gonna get a couple of scriptures, man, that I think about. Somebody get that. Somebody get the book of Job 9:24. Somebody can get that Romans chapter 1. Start it. Go ahead and read that.
There's the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
God, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who rules the world right now? Who has the biggest, influence over all the nations right now? That's America, man. And who rules America? The so-called Caucasian race, which are the Edomites of the Bible. Just say these scriptures, man. They're the ones that line up, with those, with the what can I say? They're the one that lines up with the prophecy of what the border of wickedness is. Yeah, you can get it.
Start from the top. Just go straight to it. Start. This is Malachi chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Con, and that's how the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American look at, this word, man. They look at, basically ask Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, what has you loved us? That's 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Because the 144,000, and the 1/3 women and children, and the men that's a part of that number, we understand where our power lies at. We understand that our power loves it. That's why he chastises. Keep on going.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I have loved Jacob, and I hate of Esau, and lay his mountains and his inheritance waste for the dragon of the wilderness.
God, and that's how the Lord feels, man. He's speaking. He's letting us know that, yes, he loves Jacob, man. Jacob's name was later turned on to Israel, after he wrestled with an angel on the mountain. He changed his name unto Israel. He told him, henceforth, your name should no longer be Jacob, but it should be Israel. And out of Israel came the 12 tribes of Israel. He had 12 sons. Then bam, bam, bam. That's how all us got here. That's what you have to understand about these scriptures, man. You have to understand that Esau was the forefather of a nation, man, just like Jacob was as well. Go ahead.
St. John chapter 14, verse 30. Hereafter I will not speak much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and have nothing in me.
And that was Yahushua Mashiach speaking, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. He was letting the disciples know that, the prince of this world, he's coming, man. And he has nothing in him, and he's the secret of iniquity, man, which is the so-called Caucasian race.
Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, son of perdition,
And that falling away has happened, man, in 70 AD, when our people have fled away from our land from Roman persecution, man. You know what I'm saying? What was else on that?
Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called Yahweh or God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
And they did that in the Renaissance period, man. You know what I'm saying? They basically set themselves up to be the image of Yahweh Shai. Basically, we read it at the beginning of the lesson, man. Job 9:24. You know, they are the ones that cover the faces of the judges thereof.
That's him falling in the same rendition of Babylon, because he's the king of Babylon now. And what did Nebuchadnezzar do? He made the statue that everybody bow down to him and perceived to him as being God. So this devil is falling right along those same footsteps, with being this being Babylon the Great. So those same order that the Babylon fell in, as far as trying to set themselves up as being gods, that's what Esau is doing right now.
Psalms 12 and 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
So the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. And what? And they bless the covenants. All right. So that's what, and that's not the whole makeup and foundation of the society that we're looking at today. So you're not going to see any righteousness until you're looking for the light, being the elect, coming, condemning this place, and exposing them as being the mystery of iniquity. So what did Paul say? The mystery of iniquity already worked. All right.
Hold on, now. Finish that up.
It says back in Malachi chapter 1, verse 4, it says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, thus shall they, it says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
And you know what I'm saying? That happened with Herod, man. You know what I'm saying? But in these times, they're gonna build and call, you know what I'm saying, just like the book of Psalms 49 and the verse 11, where it says the inward thoughts. Somebody can get that for me, Brother Sean?
Because Herod was the first one to be out to go out and see these other nations and how they live, and to see how impoverished the Edomites were. You know, so when he got back to his own people, he wanted to rebuild the desolate places.
This is Psalms chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their house shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name.
So you say your boy Herod, he set the bar with that spirit, and they basically fell down on his you know what I'm saying, his people when they came forth today. You know what I'm saying? So they feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? They feel like America's gonna last for them forever. They're gonna continue to divide and conquer round the four corners of the earth and call lands after their names. You know, because look at the whole thing of America, how it's set up, man. It's named after, you know what I'm saying, so-called Caucasians, which are the Edomites, man. They're named after Edomites. The cities, you know, the schools, everything, man. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 33:1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. Those curses go begin to turn upon him. All right, Deuteronomy 30:7. All right, and he's gonna drink up that cup. You know, because those who was the cup was not for, which was the Israelites, the Lord's people, they drunk up that cup. You know, so that same cup is gonna be poured without measure upon the heathen.
Job 27:13 and 14. This is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh, and the heritage of oppressor, which they should receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring should not be satisfied with bread.
Just as the scripture said, man, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquities of their father, man. Just like I was saying, Herod, he had that, he set the bar for that. His children have to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? And all their other people, they came out of that line, the line of Edom.
This is Psalms chapter 7, verse 9. It's to back up the brother Athaniala about, you know what I'm saying, Esau drinking of this cup. It says, oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just. For the righteous power, Yahweh, trieth the hearts and the reins. So it says, so let the wickedness come to an end. So there's a stopping point for these, for the border of Edom to stop.
Got one more.
Verse 11, I'm gonna jump down. It says, Yahweh judges the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. So the Most High, he judges the righteous, what? Righteousness, but he's angry with the wicked every day. So the Lord has been beyond pissed off, you know, with this border of wickedness that goes around the four corners of the earth, committing atrocities and various things to cause other nations and people to be at a disadvantage. So just like our people had to drink of that cup, Esau is gonna have to drink of that salt, that same cup 100 times over. Job chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So basically, that's just a allotted time, because he has to reach that level of wickedness that the Most High wants him to reach before he brings judgment down on this person. So he will not surpass that threshold that the Most High has set for him. And he's going to continue to do wickedly, like how the Most High had hardened Pharaoh's heart, he's hardened Esau's heart too for him, because the devil's going to come down with great wrath, man, seeking whom he may devour.
This is Job 20 and 4. That's on your point. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. That's the balance that he cannot pass.
And his reign is short. You know what I'm saying? As soon as, you know what I'm saying, that as soon as Esau was holding the heel of Jacob, you know what I'm saying, they were showing you the symbol, you know what I'm saying, of the end right there, man. As soon as you see Esau in rulership, that's how you know his end is near.
It's the book of Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
And that's your judgment, man. For trying to commit genocide against the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, after your 1,000 years of slavery, thus said the Lord, you should be cut off from being a nation. He's going to root you up. He's going to need y'all either root or branch that y'all can grow, spring out, and commit wickedness on the earth again. Man. Yeah, bring it out.
This is the definition of whoredom. You know what I'm saying? This is the noun version of it. It says practice of sexual immorality, or probably from Old Norse, that is whoredomir, adultery, Proto-Germanic or Germanic, like horaz, or one who desires. And it says, and then it's another version. It says offering sexual intercourse for pay. Or you can go to the word whore. Basically, just create spiritual fornication, man. Idol worship is a form of whoredom. Right? That's why it's the well-favored harlot, the mother of witchcraft, man. She induces these other nations with the whoredom. If you look around at every continent on this earth, every continent has some form of Americanizing it within them. So they did it with the dollar, with the money. That's how, and with their witchcraft, with their philosophy, that's how they created, and they're the well-favored harlot, man.
And this whole system was created for, you know, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which make the 12 tribes of Israel to go over. It was made for us to commit adulteries against our power, you know, because we are married unto him.
Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Fornicator is what? Adultery. This comes from the root word porneo, a pornograph. Verse 17. For ye know how that after when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, but he found no place of repentance. So he sought it carefully for tears. So he no more vain person than Esau, the fornicator. So what happened when Nebuchadnezzar got into office in 605 BC? It said, scripture say in Daniel, it said a man's heart was given to that place. That means Nebuchadnezzar took the plans and the blueprints that Nebuchadnezzar set out his dad. He put that over that system that he was creating in Babylon. Now Esau did the same thing. They followed after their forefathers in the Roman Empire. They put that over America, Babylon. Right? Gave a man's heart to it, a fornicator's heart, a vain person's heart to this.
While you see them today in society, they have a business, such and such and sons. All right, because they look to carry that on in the family and carry that on from generation to generation.
What they businesses be saying in business since 1912 or some shit like that.
Us, we gotta start ours from the ground up.
Started from the mud, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
It's Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So that's going back to what the elders brought up. The fashions of Rome, that's what Esau is continuing in this time. So that's the covering of the cloak that America had. And they're going in the form of democracy in the image of the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. And it was healed for America, man. So now you're seeing the revived Roman Empire and their philosophy, the ways and their spiritual fornication being flourished throughout the four corners of the earth, causing our people. Because what did he do? And 2 Thessalonians said he set it up himself as being God. So now he has our people. He took the identity from these scriptures and created paganism. Right now, forcing our people to crucify Yahushua afresh by committing spiritual fornication. I got it. All right, verse 13. And he, 14. All right, Revelation 14. 13, 14. Okay. This verse Revelation 13 and 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he makes fire come down from heaven.
That was the entering into of the nuclear age.
Heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound, like wounded by a sword, and did live.
Okay, so America was set up to establish the Roman system that's present today. You know, that has all our people incarcerated, killing our damn people. You know, robbing from the poor, giving to the rich. That whole system was set up in the American Edomite with the mindset of the European Edomite. All right, keep on. One more. All right, so they established this whole system that comes from the Roman mindset.
Right. Verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many should not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So that image is this system. All right, and ultimately, like if you go against the system at all, they're putting Jakes to death, right? But they're not putting their people to death because the system is for these people. But ultimately, that goes into the mark, all right, the acceptance of that mark or being partakers in the system, man. So you don't want to be partakers in the fornication that Esau has set up for to be the downfall of our people.
Right. It says, what? A man's heart was given into it. So it says Esau is a fornicator and more vain than any nation on the earth. Right? So that their mind is given to this place through their system. But so it says it gave life to the image of the beast. But that means it got it running. It ain't talking about righteous life. Look at this, Matthew 6:23. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? So everything that Esau comes up with is nothing but darkness. Right? Great darkness. Alexander, great darkness. Your Epiphany, the great darkness. Right? This all. I gotta do something.
This is Daniel chapter 8. I'm gonna start at verse 24. And this is talking about Antiochus' epiphanies, by the way, but nonetheless, it still applies to Esau. It says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And that's what's going on right now. Esau has him, he's mighty in the earth right now, but it's not by his own power. He didn't do something so great and so precious that he lifted himself up to the position that he is in. Yahweh put him in that position. And he does destroy wonderfully, and he practiced this wickedness and this death upon the four corners of the earth. And he destroys the mighty and he destroys the holy people. He destroys our people. Going back to what the brother Kanak and the elder was saying, all these different various policies and stuff that put Jacob to death, lock Jacob up and have Jacob all jacked up and messed up in this system, because this system is not for our people. This is verse 25. And through his policy, he also, through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart. And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, Salakia, but he shall be broken without hand. So again, through his policies, through his made up laws and ritualistic crap, and he causes craftiness, he causes witchcraft and all kind of wickedness to prosper in the earth, and he magnifies himself greatly, and by peace he goes to another place that's saying, oh, I come in peace. But that's how he destroys these nations and other people, by this so-called priest. And he's going to stand up against the prince of princes, which is Yahweh Shai, but he's going to be broken without remedy. He's not going we're going to say he ain't going to win this fight. This is Isaiah chapter 10. I'm going to start at verse 1. Woe unto them that decrees unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. And going Esau, with the policies and unrighteous laws that they put in they are legalized. All right, and that's still been going on since the time of Antiochus IV. All right, when he made unrighteous decrees against our nation, that they couldn't keep their customs, they couldn't keep the holy days, they couldn't keep nothing of our culture. And that goes for to this present time today, man. We can't keep the things that we want to keep now, how we would like to keep them. We can't go by the laws that we want to go by according to the scriptures. All right, we'll be labeled as Esau would label us as demonizers, man, if we try to keep the laws of the Heavenly Father, man. And it was the whole process of divide and conquer, because you had Jakes, like in Maccabees verse 1, it said, "Come on, let us make a covenant with the heathen, but since we departed from them, it's not been good for us." So now you had 2/3 of our people that are falling right along those lines. And guess what? Guess what Antiochus was doing at that time. He set it up where they can get license to go after the ordinance of the heathen. Yeah, you figured it out. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, and verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. But since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow." That's the first of people that doesn't have faith that are here to this present day. But what did Mattathias do? Wasn't it Mattathias? He set the standard, said, "This is the way of living. I'd rather die for this truth than to be accepted and live for wickedness." All right, so that's the standard that we're supposed to set here today. Are we out here slaughtering people or killing people? No. We're killing them with this word. The word is our sword. All right, so now this is our attempt, like at the time of the Maccabees, when they wanted to get the temple back. All right, so during that time, so we're doing that same fight, but we're building the temple spiritually now. Rededicate the temples like it does. porch us worth to rededicate the temple. We're doing that right now, like they did it during the time of Maccabees, man. Because those same ordinances and the decrees are going out. All right, so they get license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. It's going to be the same way during the time of that chip. All right, the licenses, that's going to be your licenses to do the ordinance after the heathen. But we're supposed to try and put truth into death. Lord say, you know what I'm saying, you have been faithful for so little, I'll you know what I'm saying, I'll bless you with so much. So therefore, that's the likelihood that we're supposed to come in, not being like 2/3 of our people that are accepting the system that's the way it's set up.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, and verse 20. They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us and our wives and children and to spoil us, but we fight for our lives and our laws. Wherefore the Lord himself will overthrow them before our face. And as for you, be ye not afraid of them.
And further on in the book of Maccabees, man, we had a woman that sat there and watched her kids be destroyed and killed. But each one gave a testimony before they were put to death. And that testimony is like knowing that we will reap our benefits and our rewards for being put to death in this lifetime. And they knew that. But 2/3 of our people were in fear because they looked at the Romans as God. They didn't look at Yahweh Shai as gods anymore. They looked at the Romans as gods, man.
2 Ezra 15:3. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
All right, so those imaginations are just thoughts and devices that they conjure in their mind and they put into play with the system. But we're not supposed to fear none of that because guess what? The Most High set them up for that. You know, they're his instrument of destruction.
Right. Verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Just like
right. They're going to die in their unfaithfulness. All right? So you're going to be put to death anyway. They think if they come a part of this system that the Romans are going to have mercy on them. No, scripture say never trust thine enemy.
Right. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Esau.
Hurtful works are fulfilled. That set measure that the Lord had designed him to do to bring forth wickedness on this earth. And the Lord said he's going to bring judgment for them being for them being the wicked on this earth. That's why he said in Jeremiah, it said, flee out of the midst of Babylon, save every man his soul, meaning get your mind out of this place, man. Because he set it up for it to be an example of what he's going to bring judgment to. And guess what? He said within that judgment, I'm going to bring also salvation because you stayed patient the whole time and kept my mind on Yahweh Shai. It says, this Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. And the reason why I brought that out, 2/3 of our people that want to take customs of these heathens and want to keep their laws and want to follow after Esau, all right, Esau's still not going to go unpunished, and you're going to be punished with them, all right, by joining hand with the wicked. Trusting in their system, trusting in their gifts that they give.
You can't. That's what makes this place a queendom, man. Because everyone is 2/3 of our people, and everyone that's that's up under them, all these other heathen nations, they go contrary against the scriptures, man. It's strictly for the 2/3 of this message is for our people. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 2/3 of select that. Go ahead, break it up.
Romans 9:27. Isaiah also crieth concerning Israel. Though the number of the children of Israel be as the sands of the sea, a remnant shall be saved.
All right. And that's letting you know, man. Yeah, all Israel is going to be saved in the kingdom, man. But on this side, a remnant is going to be saved. You know, because 2/3 of our people right now are of their father the devil. They help me get back on track. You know, 2/3 of our people are basically, you know what I'm saying, of their father the devil. They are committing these whoredoms. They're practicing these whoredoms that Esau has set up before them to keep. Man. They're not keeping the ways of the father. They're not keeping those 116 laws, 613 laws that he gave us, man.
This is John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, the lust of your father ye will do. This is it. So they have their father the devil. The word father means authority. So they hold the devil and the deceiver as their authority. America, Esau, all these nations. They hold them in authority.
And what did 2/3 of our people say back then? Crucify him. Caesar is our king. They didn't want Yahushua to be the king to reign over them. What did he say? Bring all those hither that want that refuse to bow, that refuse to let me be over them. Bring them hither, and I'll slay them before my feet. You know, so that's the mindset of 2/3 of our people. If Yahushua was walking on this earth right now, they will follow after the authority of the devil and try to crucify him again. Just like how they do trying to do the prophets. But on this time, he said, do my prophets no harm, touch not my anointing.
Bring it up.
This is Romans chapter 1, verse 21. Because that when they knew Yahweh, they glorified him not as God or as power or as Yahweh, neither were they thankful, but became vain in their imagination, and their foolish heart was darkened.
Fine, that's 2/3 of our people, man. Because we all want to be Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You know, he delivered us out of the land of Egypt, man. You know, everyone in our people in their past life, they knew who our power was. Man. You know what I'm saying? But they went off according to as it is written, man. Those are the ones that the Lord did not choose.
Verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
And that's what a lot of our people do, man, especially 2/3 of them. You know what I'm saying? They profess themselves being wise in this world to the point that they become fools, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua let them know, man. He'll show them himself by using us. You know?
Jake is the only one that you can sit down and try and edify and build up and share his wisdom with. And for every question or everything you say, he'll say he know, but still stupid. You know, they graduate from college, still stupid. You know, they don't know what they ought to know. So like you said, they profess themselves to be wise in this place, but they have become fools, thinking that they are wise. And the wisdom of this world is also foolishness to the Most High.
Where they learn how to fake, you know what I'm saying?
They learn how to fake what they know in these universities. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 18. It says, let no man deceive himself. If any man amongst you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh. For it is written, he take the wise in their own craftiness, man. So that cut all you graduates, right? Your high school, colleges, any school system that's established in Esau's kingdom, all right, it's designed to keep you asleep, right? Because the real wisdom and knowledge come from the scriptures, right? Come from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's why the Lord said this wisdom is foolishness to him, man. Right? It's not no real wisdom. All right. All y'all being taught is that he conquered you and he put you in slavery. Man. All right. That's the only thing that Esau put in his school system.
All right, Romans 11:7. Finish up the point they went to schools, right? What? So they searching for the Lord, though. You gotta get that though. Some just aren't, but some are searching. It's like you give them a goddamn reward. First thing they're gonna say, I want to thank God. See that? And then they spirit.
That's that zeal, but they don't have it according to knowledge.
That's what I'm at. Oh, that's next one. Romans 11:7. What then Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, the rest were blinded.
So Israel, you know, I said the elect of Israel, they have attained what the rest of Israel is seeking for, man, in these universities and all these philosophies of their enemies, man. You know, they seeking for the truth, man, because they feel that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, they can feel that power and that presence there. They just don't know how to go about it because they lack that knowledge.
Right. According as it is written, Yahweh have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear until this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their backs all way over to the end.
Fine. So that goes to show you, man, those are the ones that the Lord did not choose, man. He the one that darkened their eyes. He didn't choose them, man. That's why you should fear the Creator more than the creation. You know, because he's the one that controls the footsteps of man. You know, the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 24. You continue on with that Romans, the Bible song?
Romans 10 and 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge. For they, being ignorant of Yahweh's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Yahweh.
And that's our people in a nutshell, man. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to one of them all day. God, you can tell them what you seen is good in your eyes. They'll tell you some junk that they heard in the Whack Attack Christian church, or some junk that Esau taught them what is good.
Every time you get a check from work, that's a blessing right there.
You know?
All right, Con, this is the book of Isaiah 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Con, man, they add sin to sin. You know what I'm saying? They fall off these false philosophies, Allah, JC, you know what I'm saying? Buddha, him too.
The transgress means to continually sin. And to add sin to sin, he said, born in sin. So as soon as they're born, they start to add more sin to that.
And the thing about it is, like, if you look at Daniel, right? People like to say, oh, y'all like to talk about y'all should be that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is the Most High doesn't want anybody else to get his glory. So if you get any kind of benefits on this side, understand where it comes from and who to give glory and praise to. The Most High getting pissed off in hearing all this people, but that's why he said those that have benefits and not know me, same shall know that by death, by pain. So you didn't even give homage to the Creator who set you up and allowed you to be able to reap these benefits. You know, because Daniel was the president over Babylon. But guess what? He never lost his integrity. He always gave praise unto Yahweh by Shai until the day until he left this earth, man. But 2/3 of our people refuse. They giving all this glory to Esau, man. In some way, shape, or form. I don't care if you're a Black Panther or whatever you are. If you're not fighting the right fights that was set up by Yahweh by Shai, you are part of the system. Because you are against the Most High. You can't do nothing for the truth. Against you, but for the truth. So now you're labeled, you're marked as a heathen because you're going according to these heathenistic ways, but you won't take the right way.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And I brought that out because of what he said earlier. This kingdom is flipped upside down. Right now, we, the kings and the high people of this world, were brought low to show the power of Yahweh Shai. Now the servants, now they're sitting up high. All right, and now they're running this place like servants aren't meant to rule. Pretty much, you know, this whole kingdom is all fucked up. It's all messed up.
The light of the wicked shall be put out. The spark of fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark. In his tabernacle, his candle shall be put out with him.
God. And that's what I was stating earlier, man, during the lesson, man. Wickedness is the lamp of the wicked is gonna be put out even though it's darkness, man. You know, Yahweh Shai gonna make sure he leaves no stone unturned. He's gonna cleanse this whole land of every wicked crater that it is. He's gonna lift it up off the ground and get rid of it.
The only thing that can chase nighttime away would be the day.
That's why Paul said we are not the children of the night. We are the children of the day, no matter what time of the day it is. Because why? We bear that light of Yahweh by Shai. in the midst of darkness, man. They said if the eyes are light of the body, but if your eyes be single, you're full of light. But if your eye be evil, you're full of darkness. Your light is darkness, right? So what does it say in Ezekiel? He said, through thy wisdom you shall gain much riches. You are wiser than Daniel. So they have a form of light, and their light is wickedness, man. And through deception, they seem to be as smarter than the average bear. But in actuality, they stupid, man. But 2/3 of our people fall for that confusion, that state of confusion that they put the whole world in. But the ones that are of the elect are brought out of that confusion. Like, this is your light you're supposed to be in, showing us the true light. That's why Yahweh Shai came to bear with to be that light, and we follow that same example. You know, earlier in like the early 2000s and the 90s, when the demographic was different, you had everybody sitting at home in front of the TV, but Esau was able to portray himself being that happy-go-lucky, had the Brady Bunch on TV, you know, Boy Meets World, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But now with the information age and the demographics changing to where you have this internet, all right, the unicorn, Esau's being exposed, man. You can see this devil for who he is, man. He's nothing. He's the basis of men, as the scriptures say.
It's Isaiah 13:9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, but with wrath and fierce anger to lay down the desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
That's what he's gonna do, man. He's gonna lay this whole land desolate in the hour, thus saith the Lord. And he said he's gonna destroy all the sinners. Who are the sinners? 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. The ones that just can't get right. Those are the ones that he's gonna cleanse from their sin. He's gonna save you from himself. That's how caring our Father is, man. You know what I'm saying? He really showing you love by destroying you in this upcoming destruction. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. Because you're not gonna get right. You know what I'm saying? If this kingdom goes on forever to every generation, you know, you're gonna continue to dwell in your iniquity.
It's Isaiah 1:3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord.
Come on, and that's what 2/3 of our people are doing, man. You know what I'm saying? They basically being their father the devil. All they have, you know what I'm saying, pursued are lies, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's all they have to spew out their mouth. Because they're not considering the righteousness of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, like the precept that the elder brought out earlier in Romans 10, man.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are going away backward. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. Right, that's that adding sin to sin, you know. That's why the Lord got to eventually cut it off, man, before they can't deal with you. Yeah, because our people continue to be wicked. Our people continue to rest of their humanity being wicked. So the Lord has set a boundary of the wickedness of Esau and 2/3 of our people. The 2/3 of our people ain't gonna be able to get it, man. So we as a nation have to be whole. We're gonna be made whole with Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai. And the first fruits are gonna be the ones that bring everybody back in righteousness. Everybody be in the right state of mind. We have to worry about being transgressors any longer. I'm gonna jump to verse 7. It says, your country is desolate, your cities are burnt with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence. You know, those are true strangers, man. The true Gentiles would be the heathen nation. You know? And also, that's talking about the minds of our people. Because think about it. What did when Samson when they put that word in the ear of Samson's verse 5, he said somebody has plowed my heaven, meaning been in her mind, dealing with her mind, and that's what the system is doing to 2/3 of our people, plaguing their minds, so they won't be able to get it, man. Like whispering, like a serpent whispering in the ear of Eve, man. That's 2/3 of our people. Like the scriptures say, man, if he can bury the seed, the very elect. Yeah, if it were possible. Yeah, if it was possible, God.
That's why he's short time.
That's how strong his wine is, his philosophies, his witchcraft.
That's all you got.
Book of Luke 11:39. And the Lord say unto him, now do ye Pharisees, make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but your inward part is full of ravenous and wickedness.
That's in the pictures like IUIC that make broad the border of their garment, clean the outside of the garment. Within, they're filthy. All right?
Hey, speaking of Salaki, but we spoke about it before camp, and we ran into an IUIC member in Jacksonville, and he had a bald fade, man. It's like completely going off, man.
But they ask you where your friends is at. Like they want to talk about the law, but they won't. The law it says you can't call upon no other god or use no other reference of any names of other gods. Don't let them be spoken out of the law. So if they want to go according to the law, they need to break one, you break the whole thing. So they're not seeking salvation from Yahweh Shai, they're seeking salvation for themselves.
So that's basically showing that their eye not seeing.
I is not seeking. Let's do a doctrine. Anybody that want to try to build a community in this place, man, their eyes full of darkness. Why would you? That's vain thing. So why do you want to build a community in a place that's destroyed, man? And the Most High set up in a place of destruction. That's vain work. Lord is building a temple that cannot be destroyed. That's New Jerusalem.
That's being double-minded.
James 1 and 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
And it's the spirit, and there it goes, man. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. How you gonna say that you about Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai's plan, but then again you want to build a community in a place that he says he's gonna destroy? That goes to show you, man, that you're not right, man. Something's off. That's an oxymoron, man. You're double-minded. You're unstable in all your ways. You know? And the scriptures also say, woe unto him that go two ways, man. You can't go two ways. You're gonna trip up over your feet. All right. Y'all finish that up.
This is back in Romans chapter 1. Stop back. It says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and to birds and to four-footed beasts and creeping things.
And that's what 2/3 of our people worship our Messiah as today. Some wicked ass guy, his name JC, that goes back. He was painted in the Renaissance period, man, by his boyfriend. That goes to show you, man, this place, man, is sick, man. And Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua needs to come back and cleanse this land, man. You know, and you know how he's gonna do it with the ones that spilled the blood of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in this land. Their blood got to be spilled on this land as well. And it's going to be all according to the Father's anger, not according to us, man. That's why we're patient. We're waiting. That's our faith and our patience. That Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is going to pay dues, man, to what they're due. Keep going up.
Verse 24. Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
And that's that path that they can't see. That's them making their table a snare, man. That's why they thinking, you know what I'm saying, they can do the same things that happened in Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Keep going.
Verse 25. Who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Verse 26. For this cause Yahweh gave them up unto vile affection. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And like
that's not just homosexuality, but just the Lord just being done away with you and letting the devil do what the hell he want to do with you. You're not gonna have that protection like Job.
you're gonna be subject to all vanities, man. And then the Most High purified the earth for it to be glorious unto him. So like people can't even get past the firmament. Looking at the joy. He created it as a paradise, but what made it hell? Sin. Right? Not acknowledge, not giving praise unto him, man. So that's why he's like, okay, let me show you what your mind, your thought process, what man will bring forth on the earth. So he brought forth the natural man, the brute beast, Esau, all right, took away, and then he took the spirit from us, and now he's giving it back for us to see how he beautified the earth for our liking. But we're also supposed to give all back to him, man. He's the creator of everything.
You know how wicked you have to be to take something that's free and then make people pay for it. You make the money, give it to the people, and then make the people give that money back to you. That's just straight up wicked.
It's straight up confusing. It's confusing. So it's like just like what he just said. Like everything on this earth, the Most High provided everything on this earth to sustain living. But he put a curse on us to say we're going to have to go to our enemy for the one of all things. Why? Because of our transgressions. So now we're seeing, all right, I don't want this guy to be my father anymore. I want to go by the Bible. I want to go under my righteous authority. I don't want to be covered by them. I want to go. But same thing he did with Saul. So now knowing that and giving the understanding, okay, now we know which path to take. All right, you can take the path of the yellow brick road, that looks all nice and glorious, or you can go down that dark road and be in that light down that dark road that takes you ultimately to down by shot. Like people want a smooth ride to the kingdom, man. They don't want to go through the stuff that you got to go through to get there, man. Like people get frustrated because they lose everything for the Lord. You count that as gain, but the things that you lose, you count as dumb. You get what I'm saying? So those are the things that you needed. The Lord needed to be shutting off you in the first place in order for you to shine the light that He wants you to shine, man. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of Yahweh, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the work master. So everybody's focused on the works. All right, 2/3 of our people in these other nations are focused on the works, of how beautiful the earth is. But how much more beautiful is the one that created it? All right, creator of all things that gave us discernment between good and evil, gave us the acknowledgement of the path that we should take to be a righteous man on this earth, showing us how to build a spiritual life. Because humanity is vain by nature. But they're seeing the process of what humans can do. But what about the spiritual beings that come in righteousness, the elect? Right? After that, you're going to see what a righteous kingdom being ruled the right way when it won't be no longer a pyramid scheme.
2 Thessalonians 2:7. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work.
And he was the opposition, that one that opposes itself as anything that's taught of Yahweh by Shah.
Only he who now letteth let until he be taken out of it.
And look how crazy that is. Now, the scriptures say he has set a bound that he cannot surpass, but Esau can't figure that out in his mind. So he's leading them to his own demise. And the Lord, Esau thinks there's light at the end of the tunnel. Light is this, that's light. All right, that's what that is. That's what you're seeing.
Okay, this goes straight to the point. Ezekiel 7:11. Violence is raising up into a root of wickedness. None of them should remain, nor of their multitude, nor of any of their, neither should there be willing for them.
And I wouldn't say the creator of violence, but Cain, his brother. That same spirit came over to Esau. And what did he say? The days I'm born of my father are at hand. As soon as I'm done born of my father, I shall slay my brother. And you're seeing the continuation to this day. All right, so he saw that the Lord wouldn't allow him to kill us all physically, him being the devil. All right, so then what did he do? He created spiritual genocide, man. All right, so now we were discontinued from our heritage and we're forced to worship him.
Let me continue. Ezekiel 7.
Genesis 4:12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. That's why the Lord set it up. They had to steal everything. Right? They couldn't cultivate.
pushed them out of the mountains, where did he push them to? The bottomless pit, an area where they couldn't get any natural resources. Like that. So what did they do? They went out on an expedition to gather the resources off the earth that they couldn't get in that land that the Lord pushed them to.
That's what they do today with oil and other resources. Go to other countries and go on a crusade and rob other countries and nations for their resources.
That's what a vagabond does, goes from place to place to place, man. Because the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites of the whole Bible, man. We know that. Most High's name is Yahweh, his son's name is Yahweh, man. Americans about to destroy it, man. They're witness of financial collapse of the world economy. The most debt of the world economy, America and Britain.
Let me continue. Ezekiel 7 and 12. The time is come, the day draweth near. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof.
That's funny because we just went and talked about the economy. He said, let not the buyer rejoice or the seller either. Because the Lord is witnessing the downfall of this world economy. You're witnessing it right now. Hyperinflation at the max. The economic bubble swelling up like this, and then you put the needle on it about to bust it. That's going to bring in the new world order, their new system, a new form of currency. Man. So that's why that scripture say that he that sells as though be as though he sell not.
Quick precept, just to back up the brother. The second Ezra 16 and 43, 41, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose, man. So just like the brother just brought out, man, the buyer and buyer, let not the buyer rejoice in the seller, because it's all gonna come down to an end, man. Ultimately, because this place is temporal, it's not our rest.
God, this is verse 27 back in Romans chapter 1. It says, and likewise, also the men leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one towards another. Men
burned in their lust. So like, you get rage, you get that temptation of the flesh, man. Your flesh be on fire, man. You want to get some box, so to speak. But in this society, a real man it has no place, man. You go and try to talk to a female or a woman, man. She'll look at you like you're crazy, man. Because this place is upside down and not right side up.
It says, men with working, like men with men working that which is unseemly, receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was me.
It's not dealing with it. It don't matter how y'all try to justify that what they told you in America is being a good person. Being a good person is you need to use this measuring stick to see if you line up with being a good person.
Lord don't care about how many old walk across the street. That old person might be wicked. The Lord might have a judgment. That old wicked. Because you might be giving them God's feet.
Yeah, God.
He don't care how many people you talk to sweet. That's not gonna get you the kingdom. Keeping his way. That's love, man. Abiding in his love. Keeping his way. It don't matter who don't like that. You know what I'm saying? It's his way or the highway. Go ahead with your piece about.
Philippians chapter 2, it's like chapter 3, verse 7. For what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Mashiach. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Mashiach Yahushua my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win a Mashiach. So whatever you lose in this society, as long as you lose it for the sake of Yahushua, it's all going to be given back to you tenfold in the kingdom anyway.
So, I mean, if you lose your family, like your wife, children, job, Whatever you lose on this society for preaching the name for Yahweh Shai, the Lord gonna get you 100-fold, and He's gonna give you the kingdom. All right, you're gonna be blessed or be one of the first fruits of the kingdom.
Especially in this society, you're gonna have resistance. But do you want to have resistance for the sake of vanity, for the sake of pride, or do you want to have resistance for the sake of righteousness? You'll lose one wife or a child here, you'll get 20 wives and 20 children in the kingdom, or even more. All right.
It's Matthew 16:25. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. Whosoever will lose his life will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. So you want to put forth those spiritual works and build up those spiritual riches, so you can try to buy in to what the Lord is getting ready to present, which is the kingdom.
Anybody got any free soap? Anybody got any free soap? All right. Yeah, so with that, we get ready to cut it, man. We want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son in their proper names and the Holy Spirit of truth again. Come,
Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem,
Shalom.
Woo!
Hey.